Hey everyone, as I promised earlier this month, I'm going on a 24-hour fast in memory of George Floyd. Today is the 3-month anniversary of his death. I thought I'd talk about a few challenges that have come up this year as a result of my ongoing intermittent fast. One of the big challenges I run into, well, it's kind of two challenges that are kind of very similar to one another. Number one is I really, really, really hate wasting food. And a lot of times I have to be very conservative of how I prepare food, or else I leave something behind for the next day, and then it really interrupts with the flow of trying to fast from one day to the next sometimes. And this is a big problem of mine. To give you an idea of how much I really hate wasting food, one of the few fast food meals that I can actually eat, because I have dietary restrictions, is I like to go to Wendy's to get some baked potatoes sometimes. The problem is that so I only want chives in the baked potato. The problem is that I go to the counter and they want to stuff the bag full of packs of sour cream and butter, and I end up tossing it. I can't eat it, so I end up having to toss it out. So every time I go to the counter, I make sure to tell them I don't want any of that stuff, because I hate having to throw stuff away. Especially, in the past I might have handed it back, but with the advent of the problems of 2020, they're not going to take that back, so I end up having to toss it. And normally I'll go to the counter and tell them I don't want that stuff. It's not a big deal. The problem is if I want to take a date to Wendy's and I have to rudely interrupt, because the people at the counter are trying to give good customer service. Don't get me wrong about that. It's just that we have some differences, right? And I really hesitate about taking a date to Wendy's because of that problem, because oh, can I have a baked potato with extra chives, please? Sure. Oh, please, no butter or sour cream, and it just ruins the spirit of the flow of the date. And then, okay, so one time I went to Wendy's alone, so I was prepared to do that. I get up to the counter, and there's a very attractive girl working behind the counter. I didn't want to be rude in front of her, so I walked out of the Wendy's to go to a different restaurant. That's how much I hate wasting food. It causes great conflict. Well, and then I'm thinking about going home to my family, and this is a big problem. My family loves to prepare food for me. You gotta understand, my parents lived through a major depression in Taiwan, major recession, and they often didn't have enough to eat. So sometimes when they're preparing food for me, it's almost like they're preparing food for their childhood when they were starving. So I don't blame them for that, but it creates a little bit of a conflict. And I hate wasting food, so whatever they prepare, I shove it down. Then they think I really like it, and they prepare more, and it's a big problem. Fortunately, my family recently downsized. My parents are nearing retirement. My brother recently moved out of the home, so they've downsized, and so now when I go home, I'll probably look for a hotel to stay in, so hopefully that will be less of a conflict. But again, fasting today, and thought I'd talk about some challenges that I face, because a lot of people seem to think I have it easy when I fast. I have different kinds of challenges. Thanks for watching.